So you have world leaders who are mocking Donald Trump to his face or mocking him in public to the international community, friend and foe alike. And Donald Trump is just too dense to even know that he's being mocked or what's actually taking place. So I want to share with you what went down this past week, where you had Germany's new Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, go to the Oval Office, and Merz brought with him a birth certificate of Donald Trump's German grandfather, Friedrich Trump. Now, the message here from Friedrich Merz is to tell Donald Trump, dude, you are an immigrant. Stop treating people like crap, and letting him know also that you left Germany, essentially. So I want you to watch this moment where Friedrich Merz presents Donald Trump with the birth certificate. This was this past week of Friedrich Trump. Here, watch this.
This is the birth certificate of Donald Trump's grandfather, born in 1869, close to Bad Dürkheim, right? Yeah. That's called. And his Christian name was Friedrich.
Right. That's serious German.
Serious
right?
German name.
That's serious German. Bad Dürkheim is serious German. But I want to thank you very much for. First of all, I want to thank you for that. That's
My
beautiful.
pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Fantastic. We'll put it up in a place of honor. Yeah. I don't know, maybe we can, let's see. We have to put it up there someplace.
That was a good moment there. You know, and then I've previously showed you that Vladimir Putin's been mocking Donald Trump by showing, in lots of ways, but particularly by showing nudes of Melania all through Russian state regime TV. They keep on playing Melania nude, and then they mock her and they say what kind of low class she and Donald Trump are. And the hosts just mock him relentlessly. So when Putin spoke to Donald Trump 2 phone calls ago, Putin told Donald Trump, how's your wife doing? Everybody here thinks she's so great. You have such a well-respected wife. And he's mocking her because they're showing Melania nudes on Russian TV. But then Donald Trump goes out and he's like, Putin told me that they respect my wife, Melania, a lot. Everybody loves Melania. Here, play this clip.
Compassionate First Lady, I would tell you she is very dedicated. In fact, if you look at just what I heard, Putin just said they respect your wife a lot. I said, what about me? No, they like Melania better. That wasn't good. I don't know if that was good. I'm okay with it. I'm okay.
You know, and then when Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada visited the Oval Office about a month ago or so, I think it was May 6th, Prime Minister Carney framed it this way to Donald Trump, like, I know you're a real estate guy. So as a real estate guy, you know, some things, Donald, are not for sale. Canada's not for sale. And then Carney, in a very underhanded way that Donald Trump couldn't pick up, said, I do want to give you credit, though. You forced Canada and a lot of people in Europe to step up our security and to build up our defenses. And Trump thinks that that's a compliment. But what Carney's actually saying is to defend ourselves against you being idiotic and destabilizing the world, you moron. That's what Carney meant, although he didn't say it. Here, play this clip.
It's 2 places that get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together. And we have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our full weight in NATO, and that will be part of it.
Okay, so now going back to the Friedrich Merz appearance. So Friedrich Merz, after being in the Oval Office, then goes on Fox. Why? Because he knows that Donald Trump's going to be watching it on Fox. And here, Friedrich Merz basically says, you know what? I don't like to think about whether if Donald Trump was in office, whether or not Putin would have done anything. He goes, that's an irrelevant discussion. He goes, what we have to focus on is what's happening right now, and we need to help Ukraine. Watch how Friedrich Merz goes on Fox to basically not just troll Donald Trump, but to also deliver a powerful message. Play this clip.
The president often likes to say that this war would have never happened had he been in the White House. Do you agree with that?
Well, this is theory or speculation, which could be right or wrong. But this war is now happening, and we have to tackle that, and we have to resolve it now. It makes no sense to discuss the past. This has happened. If we had Ukraine as member in NATO, which was applied in 2008, and the Americans gave support to that. The French and the German government were against it. You can again speculate would this war had happened. Ukraine was then a big nuclear power. They were the third biggest nuclear power in the world. And they agreed to get rid of all the nuclear weapons. And thereafter, Russia attacked Ukraine. Would this had happened with nuclear weapons on the ground? You can ask the same question again. No, this war is now happening, and we have to stop it now. This is our task.
Okay.
Because then you compare what, Friedrich Merz is saying to what Trump was saying. This is how Donald Trump greeted Friedrich Merz in the Oval Office. He went, "Welcome to the Oval Office. It's an Oval Office in very good shape. It's tippy-toppy. It's tippy-toppy-toppy. I had a great win. I won everything, tippy-toppy." This is what Donald Trump said in the Oval Office with Friedrich Merz. Play this clip.
But Chancellor, I just want to congratulate you, and I want to welcome you to the Oval Office.
Thank you.
It's an Oval Office that's in very good shape. We like fixing things up and having them tippy-top like they have in Germany. They do that in Germany very much, and we do it here. We're having a very good run. I also had a great election, great win, won everything. Won the popular vote, all 7 swing states, which is a big deal. Yeah. It's pretty unusual to do that.
Did you know that the liver is the second largest organ in your body? It's responsible for over 500 functions in your body, but for some reason, liver health doesn't always get the attention that it deserves. Dose for Your Liver was formulated to cleanse your liver of unwanted elements, aid digestion, and maintain your body's filter. Why does this matter? Well, your liver is the second largest organ in your body and is responsible for over 500 functions in your body. It acts as your body's filter, flushing out unwanted elements and breaking down what you consume into essential nutrients. The liver produces and regulates cholesterol, stores vitamins and minerals, and impacts digestive and metabolic health, amongst many other things. Dose's science-backed formula promotes liver function, aids digestion, eases bloating, and even boosts energy levels. Clinical results. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, Dose for Your Liver lowered liver enzyme levels by 50% in over 86% of participants. Stick with Dose and feel the incredible benefits over time with more energy, better digestion, reduced bloating, healthier liver enzyme function, reduction of brain fog, and better sleep. 1 Dose for Your Liver shot is equivalent to 17 shots of turmeric juice. Dose is gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and vegan. Save 30% on your first month of subscription by going to dosedaily.co/Meidas or entering Meidas at checkout. That's dosedaily.co/Meidas for 30% off your first month subscription.
And here, as Adam Schwarz explains, Germany's Chancellor Merz sets the record straight after Trump tries to draw a moral equivalence between Russia and Ukrainian actions. Here, play this clip.
This had never happened with Ukraine weapons against Russia. Never. Ukraine is only targeting military targets, not civilians, not private, not energy infrastructure. So this is the difference, and that's the reason why we are trying to do more on Russia, how to stop this war.
And here was Merz and Trump talking about D-Day, which was Friday, June 6th. Play this clip.
June 6th, tomorrow. This is D-Day anniversary, when the Americans once ended a war in Europe. And I think this is in your hand in specific, in ours.
That was not a pleasant day for you?
No, that was not a pleasant.
This was not a great
in
day.
the long run, Mr. President, this was the liberation of my country from Nazi dictatorship.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
And we know what we owe you. But this is the reason why I'm saying that America is again in a very strong position to do something on this war and ending this war. So let's talk about what we can do jointly, and we are ready to do what we can. And you know that we gave support to Ukraine, and that we are looking for more pressure on Russia. The European Union did, and we should talk about that.
We will.
So all of that's taking place. You have President Zelensky, powerful wartime leader, posting the following, or saying the following: "Now is exactly the moment when America, Europe, and everyone around the world can stop this war together by pressuring Russia. If someone is not applying pressure and is giving the war more time to take lives, that is complicity." You see, he's calling out Trump. That's how weak they all think Trump is. That you almost have to bully Trump in order to get him to do things. And Zelensky has the upper hand. I mean, Trump doesn't look tough at all. You've got Europe, you've got Zelensky working together, and you got Trump just like Putin talked about Melania. Then you have Zelensky posting the following: "I received a report from our team on their visit and meetings in the United States. Defense support for Ukraine, sanctions against Russia, diplomatic prospects, as well as the defense of freedom and countering Russian disinformation. We gave our partners a detailed overview of the true intentions of Russian leadership. Despite all the rambling at the negotiating table and in the media, the Russian army is preparing for further hostilities and a possibility to expand the war. We also presented information about the capabilities of Russia's military-industrial complex and about its proceeds from oil and other sources, which must be restricted for the sake of peace. Importantly, our delegation held good meetings at all levels with the U.S. administration, the State Department, Congress, civil society leaders, think tanks, and the media. We are preparing a new joint political and economic steps. We value the strength with which the sanctions bill by Senator Lindsey Graham and Blumenthal can really bring peace closer by targeting Russia and its acolytes and more. We are grateful to everyone who is helping." You see, they're kind of going around Donald Trump there also. Zelensky also writes, "We see how many people around the world are with us no matter what. These days, our team is having meetings in Washington. Thank you to everyone who attended the briefings from the Ukrainian delegation. There were meetings in Congress with the U.S. administration officials, journalists, and NGO representatives. We see understanding and support. We do count on strong steps. That's what's in short supply right now. And this is what can make even the sleazebags in Moscow realize they can't pull the war off. This is why we need new and sufficient sanctions, first and foremost from the United States. This is why we need clear political pressure for diplomacy to be effective. There's not a single peace initiative in the world that Russia hasn't rejected. They dislike everything. They only like ruins and murder. They must be held accountable for this. Thank you to everyone who stands with Ukraine." And that's how it's done. You know, it should also be noted how Xi Jinping's been dealing with Trump. On Thursday, Donald Trump begged Xi Jinping for a phone call, and then China made it clear that it was the U.S. who asked for this phone call on China's Xinhua State Regime TV and CCTV. They explained that Trump requests phone call with Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping tells Trump, handle the Taiwan issue carefully. U.S. should cancel negative measures taken against China. Two sides should reduce misunderstandings. Trump is welcome to visit China again if he wants. China's like, if you want to come, you can come. And let's stop this misunderstanding. And, you know, China's trying to act like the adult in the room, lecturing the United States because of how utterly weak Donald Trump is. And the issue was U.S. was running very low on its rare earth minerals based on China not providing them to the U.S. So Donald Trump had to call Xi Jinping and beg for rare earth minerals to be released. You know, and finally, if you're in the international community and you're just watching what's taking place, I mean, you're seeing things like this. Donald Trump appoints a 22-year-old ex-gardener and grocery store assistant to lead the U.S. terror prevention within the Department of Homeland Security. This is a kid. He's 22, not a kid, but he's a 22-year-old. He was working in a grocery store. He's like an ultra MAGA guy. And the Trump regime made him one of the top officials in the Department of Homeland Security with no experience at all. And look, I have the utmost respect for people who work at grocery stores. It doesn't mean that you should become the head of the Department of Homeland Security or one of the top officials there just because you wear a red MAGA hat. And other countries see that. They see what's going on. They're not dumb. They know what's happening. Well, anyway, I wanted to show you all of that. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
New Midas merch drop! Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.MeidasTouch.com.